Hello, everyone, and welcome to PAX Area Gaming. My name is Reg. I'm continuing the journey of the Destined One through Chapter 4, the Webbed Hollow. When last we met, we were fighting Yellow Long. That's where we ended up. This is the relief of the Fallen Long, I think is the name of this particular area. Now we're going to leave this area and head off to the left of this area if you're facing where we fought Yellow Long. There are a couple of these beetle guys. And there's a scorpion guy. And then we transition to the next area. There's only one beetle guy, actually. That's the scorpion guy over there. And by this point, we've fought a couple of these already. So, no big deal. Sneak up on him. Call out our troops. Make sure we don't get hit by the tail. And easy peasy. Okay, now we're gonna look around before we head down that way. Let's look over to the right first. Grab this plant. I think, yeah, these annoying guys. And that particular one is just going to keep shooting at you till you kill it. It can't really hurt you, but it is pretty annoying. The key is figuring out our way to work our way up there. So there should be 2 enemies up here, I believe. There's a chest, but let's take out, yeah, that's the guy who's shooting at us. So I'm going to take him out. Yeah, not very difficult. And then let's snag the... Actually, let's grab this. And let's grab the chest. The way forward is going to be off to the right when we turn around. Okay. We're going to grab this particular seal. This is the second or third one. The final one will be just before the chapter boss. Drop down here, grab this wisp. You can drop down again. Take out the annoying guy shooting at us, as always. Okay. We're gonna make our way down the slope. And we're going to spy on our friend Baji, who looks like he is under the spell of the one of the spy sisters. Remember the needle that was thrown at and embedded in his skull? That's what's controlling him.
闭嘴！好蠢的东西，快些走！快来快来，他们到了！又不是三姐姐你成亲，上着急做什么？叫你编排我，今天我就收拾收拾你这小蹄子。好姐姐，就饶了我吧！来了来了，新郎官来了。我来迟了，妹妹们久等。我当母亲日思夜想的是个什么俊俏郎君，怎么生得这般酣丑？嘴脸是有瞎子，不过母亲喜欢就好。丑是丑，听说以前倒还有些本事。为了抓他，母亲的家传宝贝都用上，可是费了姥姥劲儿了。
二姐姐真是勤俭啊，捉到好东西，也不先让妹妹们尝尝。
妹妹好大的气性，母亲心心念念要嫁的人，少根指头，咱们都没好果子吃。
嫁了她又有什么用？我们还不是一辈子守在这鬼地方，连你也不消停。想看就去前头看。
我说妹妹们，这还没开始行礼，你们就急着要闹喜糖了？
嗨，不过是母亲修炼用的精元，我们呢，别操那没用的心。姐姐，人我就交给
Everything they're doing is at the instruction of their mom.
姐姐，母亲是老糊涂了。
Their mother is Baji's ex.
难道你也看不出
Maybe
来？
one of his exes.
你就当心
Seems
疼
like he
心
has
疼
more
我
than
姐
one.
也是我们做
And
儿
in the
女
novel,
尽一次本分。我何尝
he met
不
a
心
group
疼
of
他？
women and ended up
他数十年的
pregnant.
病根一直好不
He
了，
and the monk that was journeying to the west, and
不恨就罢了，
the
还这
other
样
guy that
作
was
践自
traveling
己
with them.
我
Sun Wukong did not end up
我是
pregnant.
演不下去。
有些事
That's
情
not what you
不看
think.
对
They
错
drank
美
from a
丑，
river that made them pregnant.
更不论强弱输赢，都是机缘巧现编织的宿命。
姐姐
And they，had to drink something else to
你我
make
当
them
时都未
unpregnant.
出
It's
生，
really
不曾见
kind of
母
funny.
亲用过的情，自然也参不透她今日的痴心。
世伯那边
Actually, it's even funnier in a live-action film.
走一步看一步吧，借来的福分，能多享一日，也是好的。你随我来，前面便是母亲的蓝房了。这里有几句话要叮嘱你。母亲平日里都是好的，唯有吃
You'll
饭
get the
时
full
只爱
story
独享。
by the end
千
of
万
this
别去
chapter
沾惹她，
to sort of have a better understanding of
别细看她的
why
脸，
the resentment,
尤其是眼
if you
睛
want。to call it
姐
that.
姐，不能再耽搁了。
我的话，你可要细细记住了。
快去，别误了时辰。
So I think, as I mentioned earlier, Sun Wukong, Baji, and the other guy, they weren't they weren't really upstanding characters. They were fairly rambunctious.
哥哥，你让秋山等得好苦啊！天上果然不是人过的日子，能回来就好。姑娘们，排宴！
Okay, so at least we know where he is. We've located him. Now we have to figure out a way to break him out of that particular spell. All right, as always, we have a wisp. We should grab it. Of course, we have tons of these little rock spiders all over the place. There are not a ton of enemies in this area. Eventually we're going to run into some lantern guys and some beetle guys. At least a beetle guy and a lantern guy. It's the beetle guy. In this area, which is going to transition us to the next part of the hollow, is full of flying beetle guys and the armor worm creatures. So if you go around the perimeter, it's mostly the beetle guys. There may be a couple of those little baby rock spider things as well. If you fall down off that cliff, you'll be in an area that's full of the yeah, try not to fall down there. That's full of the armor worms and some of the beetle guys. So if you get trapped down there, you end up fighting quite a few enemies all at once. So my strategy is usually to work my way around the perimeter, killing all of the beetle guys, the flying beetle guys. And apparently they've gotten a little bit more deft at avoiding my various stances. Usually you can sneak up behind them, they just stay there sort of sleeping. But for whatever reason, these are not as sleepy as the other ones. So every time I try to hit one, it sort of wakes up and moves out of the way. But that's okay, we're going to kill them all anyway. And there's a chest down there. There's only one, but there's a chest down there as well. If you're up close, you can actually stun lock them and hit them a few times and they'll die. Yeah, they have much better ability to avoid getting hit in this part of the game. Actually, in this playthrough, because in previous playthroughs they didn't move; they just sat there sleeping. It would be neat if he could actually throw his staff. Because then you could sort of take out a few more enemies at range. But he doesn't have that ability, at least not yet. Maybe in the DLC, which I'm very much looking forward to playing. And I'm curious as to what they're going to focus on in that. there are many, 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 many characters in the novel. Some of whom you see in the little animations at the end of the chapters, but you don't really have any sense as to who they really are. Or how they're connected to one another. You know, for instance, there's a character who's standing next to his father when they're confronting the Bull King, but you don't know that that's his father. It's also Erlang Shen's father. That those two characters are actually brothers, but we don't know that in the game. So maybe there'll be more information on the backstory of some of the characters, or they could focus on a chapter from the novel that the Destined One has to go back to for some reason. There's a whole underwater area in the novel, and in the game you have a webbed area, you have a fiery area, you have a icy area, but you don't have a underwater area. So that could be, oops, I fell down. So now I gotta deal with the worms, and I gotta deal with the beetle guys. So it's speculation. I haven't seen a lot. You know, there's been some fan speculation regarding, you know, what could be, but Game Science, at least as far as I know, hasn't said anything yet about what the DLC will be about. You know, but I trust them completely. They've done a great job with this game. I wonder what their next project is going to be. I mean, there are certainly other stories. As I think I mentioned in another video, Investiture of the Gods is another one of those classic Chinese novels from late 15th century, early 16th century that has some of these same characters in it. And some of it is just really, really good. I watched part 1 of Creation of Gods, which is based on Investiture of Gods, which is one of those novels. And the studio that's working on it is doing it in 3 parts. The first part was released in 2022. The second part was released in January of 2025. And not quite sure when they're releasing the third part of the trilogy. But the first part was very good. I haven't seen the second part yet. I know it's been released, but I haven't seen it in any theaters here in the United States. I guess I'll check to see whether I can stream it somewhere. That's a chest we were working our way towards. I think we've taken out everyone in this area. Yeah, the idea is to, like, the original idea was to work our way around the perimeter, take out all the beetle guys, because they're the only ones that shoot at you, and then go down into the little ravine and take out the worm guys. And then get the chest. Once that's done, you can sort of work your way to the exit. These Taoist creatures. They can only really hurt you, I mean, when they gang up on you like that, if they, you know, shoot those webs at you, and then you sort of get stuck in one spot while they hit you, but they're really not very strong. Okay, when we go through here, it's been a while since we... No, this isn't the area yet. Okay, there's an area coming up where we'll have an old enemy. I'm going to take care of this meditation point. I think in my first playthrough I might have missed one of them somewhere. So in my second playthrough I got the one that was missing. I think it was only missing one. There are quite a few in each chapter. I guess each chapter section has a meditation spot. But not each shrine, right? I mean, so it's not exactly one meditation point is equal to one shrine, but it's pretty close. Let's grab this wisp. And then we grab that shrine. And then we're going to jump back up. So we are officially in the lower hollow. But that doesn't end the shrines, right? We had upper, middle, and lower hollow, but within those we had other sections as well, and that's the case in this one as well. We have one boss, and it's this guy. It's our old friend, one of the frog bosses. Bali Gu Bao, I think is his name. If I'm pronouncing it right. Because this chapter is mostly poison-based, this boss is also poison-based. Not a very difficult fight. We're going to work our way. There's only one exit. And exit is the way you came in. So we'll work our way back there and work our way back up. Let's grab this first. Scope out what's down here. Yeah, I think there's a whole lot other than annoying spiders. It's like an old riverbed. All we did was work our way back around to the shrine. We can renew our resources. Let's progress through these little ball sack thingies. making our way to an area called the Hut of Immortality. Yeah, of course. There would be one of these annoying beetle guys flying around shooting at us. Taking all those little guys out. There is a, no. You can't leave any of them alive, of course. There is a fairly strong, I call him a beetle commander. I don't know whether he's really a commander, but a beetle guy. If we jump on him, we can kill him pretty quickly. Alright, we're going to use the... We're eventually going to work our way down there, but we're going to use the pillar stance to take this guy out. I guess maybe the thrust stance would have worked as well, but I know pillar stance works. And we're going to hop down and grab the wisp and then take out the lantern guy. He's just moseying back and forth. Not a care in the world. That's right. And we're going to work our way down here. And we have arrived at the next shrine. The Hut of Immortality. And we are going to find our buddy Zubaji in here somewhere. Not quite himself.
包一个，也拖累你爷爷。奶奶的，你这小儿看见了，想笑话老朱。
He's not that difficult. And for whatever reason, they made him bigger. He's not usually that size. But he doesn't really do anything special in this particular phase. This is a multi-phase fight. First phase is definitely the easiest phase. And you can kind of overwhelm him. So he doesn't have a chance to use the rake or dig that time. But he doesn't really have a chance to do a whole lot to you. And since you have the pluck of many active, they'll whittle down his health pretty quickly. Sorry about my Alexa Amazon notification. Okay, so what we're going to do here is simply recharge, since there are no enemies that will respawn where we're going. And there's an opening that wasn't here before that we'll go through. Actually, right there? No. Okay, so when we go through, we're going to be fighting Baji in a second phase. In an arena that's sort of covered in mud. So there is a particular armor that you could use and could equip that actually makes you a little bit more stronger, I believe it is, in these particular conditions. I don't think I used that armor in any of the playthroughs, any of the previous playthroughs. But it might have been helpful, so you might find it helpful. If you go into your equipment, you should have it by now. Let's see what I'm talking about. I don't know whether you will have had a chance to fully max it out. He seems slightly stronger in this phase, and he does transformations. His moveset's a little bit different. And now he's moving into the third phase of the fight. He's trying to fight the influence of that needle that's stuck in his brain. In this phase, there are multiple transformations you have to watch out for. annoying thing, of course, is he's running around the arena, which makes it very difficult for you to hit. He usually tuckers himself out like that, and you can get in and get some good hits in. And he can also be stunned. If you stun him, he will fall over. Like that. Oh, not like that. Yeah, this phase is very annoying. The moveset is really strange. The tail can hit you, and when he slams into the ground, he can create these shockwaves and hit you as well. If you don't time your jumps perfectly. And so you can move from one transition to that. So there's a boar, then a giant carp, now a rhino, multiple rhinos. In this phase, I would just advise you to just keep dodging out of the way. It doesn't last very long. And he will get tired at the end of that phase as well. Okay. So now he's really defeated this time. Earlier in the chapter, when you had the fight with Buddha's right hand, there was an item that you took, and that was the item. And this should remind Baji who he really is. Of course, we haven't seen this version of Baji yet. But you will. Well, that must have been really painful. But remember, he still ticked off a few people, so they're not done with him. So we did all this work to rescue the guy, and he gets taken again. Okay, so our next task, I think, yeah, we want to activate the shrine here because it gives us an opportunity to recharge. They're not really any enemies between here and the next area. So we're going to take this chest, activate the shrine, which should be the Purifying Spring. And we're going to work our way to the Gathering Cave. So there's a particular item that you need to make sure you collect. That item will become important in the final chapter of the game. So you want to make sure you get it. You can always come back to this area since there's a shrine right there. But since you're here, you may as well get it. And there are a couple of enemies up top. We're going to work our way around the bottom part first to get that item. take out any enemies that we see down here. And there's a guy up there who may fire some arrows at you. He's on one of the ledges up above me. That rat creature has been in every previous chapter of the game. It usually disappears when you get close, but you should always go to where she was to collect the Scandias that she's, I don't know if she's protecting them or what she's doing with them. This is the Scandia of choice. And that rat creature person was around when the original Sun Wukong was born. There's a whole backstory there. So now we're going to work our way up top to take out the enemies up there. Drag this left and then look around the stairs and you'll see the guy who was shooting at you, a couple of scorpion guys, a couple of snake guys. Just a little smorgasbord of different enemies from this chapter. Yeah, my ability to whiff at the moment is just amazing. All right, grab this chest. You should be off to the right at the top of a ledge. There should be another guy. And then the scorpion guy, you can see right there. Let's take out the arrow guy first, since he has the potential for being pretty annoying when you're fighting the scorpion guy. And this one contains a spirit. But if you already have the spirit, I guess you get a mind core. And will, since we have the spirit already. All right. And in some of the cocoons, there may be things, but I don't think in most of them there are. We call our little gang here. Take them out quickly. We're gonna grab this item. And since the gang is still alive, they can help take him out as well. Make for a much faster fight. The snake guys from earlier. one. Yeah, they're not. For as large as this area is, there are not a lot of enemies in it, which is pretty good. I mean, that game throws a ton of enemies at you, so it's always good when you get a little part where it's like, wow, there are not a lot of enemies here. Although you're looking around because you always think they're enemies, right? Okay, so now we're working our way up to an area called the Gathering Cove or Gathering Cave? Gathering Cave. So let's get the shrine here. And fortunately for us, this one is right outside of the boss area.
咱老夫老妻的，何必烦那旧账？你莫不是忘了当年猴子留我下来灭口，是谁最后没舍得对你下手啊？
And he's having a little conversation with his ex-girlfriend.
我没忘，但我更忘不了的是你们走后，我如何靠着姐姐们的肉身骨血，才挺了过来。
这仇不能全赖我们，要怪就怪你师兄，是他把唐僧肉看得比你们姐们的命要紧。
师兄是一时糊涂，事后他悔恨交加，做了许多补偿，甚至不惜用那东西替我续命，不然我怎能撑到今日这样？
好妹妹，你说的当真？那东西如今在你手上。
哥哥，到了此刻，你心里惦记的还是那只猴子。
什么猴子？胡说！臭猴子哪有你标致啊？
再多说些我还听啊，待我听快活了，兴许大发慈悲，告诉你那东西在何处。
你这恶妇，有胆去全面照照，都这般岁数了，还念些情情爱爱，当真可笑。
我困在这宫
Considering
中，
he's sort of webbed up, he really shouldn't be trash talking as much as he does.
想着同房后立刻吃了你，治好我这病根。
要吃便吃，搞这一出拜堂敬酒，弄些个恶心噱头，发什么假闹疯？我呸！
吃不下去，不单是为你，更是为他。
This is the reveal that Zubashi has been a bit of a deadbeat dad. That's his daughter.
这小女娃又黑又丑，鬼知道是谁的孽种！你今日这般下场，与我毫无干系。我只恨自己当时在心慈手软。
He's being a bit of a dick about it too, but you know.
你怎么才来？我眼前就
That
死
was
了！
true to his character in the
快上了
book
这
as
妖
well.
魔，放我
是
下
叫姐姐们过来。我此生最恨猴子，回回都是你们坏我好事。我究竟哪里不如这些猴子？既然你这么喜欢猴子，我便抛了他的心，挖了他的
Probably should not have kissed his exile. She is one of the Yaguai queens, Violet Spider. So all of the doors have the ability to turn into spiders. I guess maybe you figured that out by now. Poison-based fight, as you can see. Not a very difficult boss. But you can get caught in a web and stunned, and so not stunned, but sort of locked in place. She can really hurt you if she is able to get to you and hit you while you're frozen like that. So if you keep moving, that's not likely to happen. But if she ends up catching you, then it could happen. But not a very strong boss at all. You know, this is not the chapter boss, by the way. This is the sister of the chapter boss. And believe me, her brother is much stronger. Yeah, I couldn't get any hits in for some weird reason. A pretty cringe-worthy scene, being chased by thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of these little baby spiders. And the goal is to keep running. Don't stop. Don't try to fight them, because you will get killed and have to start that cutscene all over again. So just keep running. You'll know when you've gotten to a point where it ends. Because I'll show you in a second. That will happen. So yeah, if you stop or you slow down or you try to use, one of your spells or something like that, you will get caught. The only way to not get caught is just to keep running. And this transitions us to the next section of the game. The mountain trail, not a very long area. But there are quite a few things to do. So we're going to make a little trip back to Zodiac Village. At least I try to do it once a chapter. I don't always remember to do it, especially in this playthrough, because I've pretty much maxed everything. And once we complete our little transaction with Zoodog, we're going to head back to the mountain trail and work our way up to the Forest of Ferocity. I'm only showing you guys this so you can sort of see how close we are to maxing these particular Bane resistances. It must be boring to sit there and watch me go through each one of them. And you could wisely sort of figure out what the last enemies are going to be like. Like we know chapter 4 is a poison chapter, so we could just focus on maxing out poison in this chapter. I mean, there's no ice, there's no fire in this particular chapter. In the next chapter, it's really fire-based stuff. And you can sort of max out the fire stuff, so you can do it that way. I haven't been doing it that way. I've been sort of spreading it across each of the Bane resistances fairly equally. And that seems to work for me because eventually you'll have enough spark, not spark, you'll have enough mind core to upgrade all of that stuff. You really can't do anything else with mind cores. Once you max out your sort of basic kinds of things, then the only thing you can use them for, I guess you could sell them, but there's no real reason to sell anything in this game. I mean, if you're like me and you're collecting the chests and getting will from breaking things, you don't really ever need to sell anything. I don't think I ever sold anything in any of the playthroughs. And I don't know how much currency I had at the end of the playthrough. I guess I should check. Probably a lot. So maybe in the DLC there'll be things I can buy that I'll need that currency for, if it carries over. Our buddy Chen Long from chapter 3. Yeah, I'm not ignoring was it Zen Monkey? It's just that the gourds are totally upgraded, so there's really no reason for me to talk to them. Okay, so back at the mountain trail, there are new enemy types, mostly human enemy types, which is pretty refreshing. I mean, trust me, there are creature types as well, but we see a lot more humans in this chapter. And they're not very difficult. They're pretty easy to take out. You can one-shot most of them. We're going to grab this wisp, and then we're going to work our way up that trail, and we'll see a few more enemies along the way. I don't think there are any treasure chests in this section. I think they do sort of like wind damage or something like that. That's what it looks like. Could be wind, could be watery. I'm not quite sure what kind of damage they do. Whatever damage it is, it's not really anything noteworthy. They're the guys dressed in black, and then they're the guys dressed in yellow. See, I guess that was wind he was trying to use. Now up top, off to the left here, there are a few more enemies and a couple, maybe one different enemy type. Yeah, I guess it's wind that he's using. We want to grab this item, which I've already grabbed many times. And then we're going to take out this guy over here. And if you look ahead, you'll see a chest, and you'll see a couple of other enemies over there, including a new enemy type. There'll be a couple of them in this chapter. Actually, more than a couple. Take him out. Take him out. Yeah, they don't react very quickly. Yeah, They're pretty easy to kill, but you want to make sure you don't get poisoned by them. Okay, we're going to grab this wisp. The blood trail that you see is where the Violet Spider Queen went off to. So we are somewhat following that trail. Yeah, I tried to get the jump on the guy. I guess it won't let you hit them until they're actually fully out of the ground. Yeah, more of these guys. Again, they're not very difficult. You just want to scope out the area to make sure that you're not going to get jumped by a whole bunch of them. And you won't. At most, 2 of them will attack at one time, but you won't really get too many of them coming at you. This is the introduction to yet another enemy type that we haven't faced yet. And it seems to be wind-based as well. Like he yells at you and it sort of blows this gust of wind that, if it catches you, it could pick you up and toss you a little bit. And grab this chest. And this will take us to, once we grab this item, we'll work our way up these little planks. There's a couple of enemies that will pop out. Again, not much of a problem. And it will take you to the next shrine. And this is the Forest of Ferocity. I'm going to go off to the left of the shrine to get to a meditation point. Maybe, I think, 2 enemies in this area. A poison guy and a human guy. There's our meditation point. Game Science did a great job with these little cutscenes. They really put some effort into it, which is great. So all the delays that they had getting this game out to market, at least it was worth it. It's better to get it right than put it out and having it be trash. So this is good. Okay, so we're gonna make our way now to the other side. When we came in, we went left of the shrine. Now we're taking right, the right side. In this one, there are some human-type enemies, and we don't know how to describe the other kind of enemies. I guess they're called Taoists. These guys. They're poison-based. They're not very difficult to kill in any playthrough. There are a few more of them around. If you use the lock-on mechanic, you'll spot them easier than if you're just walking up to them. So I usually do that to sort of pick up, because those you can hit before they wake up. Mushroom guys you can't, but the other guys you can. The Taoist guys you can. So... and they have this little short sprint, and then they fall down. So they really don't. We're going to go into an area that has a whole bunch of them, like 10 or 12 of them. It's always better to take them on one at a time in that area. One of these fungi creatures. Again, not very difficult. And then you have two human bosses. Yeah, here they are. And you have one of the poison guys. Yeah, they don't have a real great moveset. I mean, they just sort of come right at you, and you have plenty of time to load up and hit them with something. Now we're going to go around this building and up these steps, and there's a gym class going on up here with a beetle commander. So you want to be really, really careful in terms of how you want to handle this area. All of these guys will attack you. So of course, since we have the pluck of many, we're going to let the pluck of many handle them, and I'm going to go right for the beetle commander, who is really strong. If you don't use the pluck of many, you can take out the guys who are in the class, right? The guys who are training. The problem with that is, though, you end up using a lot more resources trying to fight them, and eventually the beetle commander will start throwing, what you call this, like air blades at you. Like that. Because these are very strong. So I use Cloud Step, since he can't see me in Cloud Step, to get close to him and do as much damage as I can do. Alright, he's also one that can be used if you absorb his soul. Okay, we're going to grab this item. Continuing our path through this little trail area, or this forest area, and then we'll stop because we're gonna head into a larger area with branching paths and things like that. We'll take all that on in the next video. So we're gonna get to the shrine first. So let's take out this poison guy. Take out this human guy. Take out that human guy. Okay. So I can see his buddy right there, but okay. All right. And this shrine acts like a hub. This is the temple entrance. And you can go in multiple directions, and we're going to do all of that except the direction we came from. Actually, no, I'm wrong. That's not true. We're going to go in that direction when we come back. There's an old friend that we're going to meet there. But for now, I thank you guys for joining me. This is Reg with PAX Area Gaming, and I'll see you guys in the next video. All right? Please take your time. Comment, like, subscribe. Your comments will be very helpful for me in the future. Thanks a lot. Take care. Talk to you guys soon.